Welcome to day one of Challenge Roth, breakfast from Roth. That was the wonderful Reiner playing the accordion. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Nitro and by Flapjack. Our YouTube channel is Babbittville. My first guest, who is trying to become the first double above knee amputee to finish Challenge Roth, Mr. Rudy Garcia-Tolson. Rudy, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. Feels great to be in Germany, here in Roth, and excited for this weekend.
So, it's not like you've been doing a lot of long-distance training getting ready for this. You're talking, you've been doing 100 meters on the track, 200 meters on the track,
right.
Long jumps. You've been doing 20-second events. Then about 6 weeks ago, it was like, hey, let's give this a shot.
You want to do an Ironman. And so, you know, the challenge of coming over here and doing Challenge Roth in about 2 months has really been the big thing for me. And, you know, I hooked up with Coach Muddy Waters, and we really put in a good month of solid training on the bike. For me, the bike is my weakest point in a triathlon. So just putting time on the bike, and I think if we get off the bike, we should be good. So. And
you had Cannondale make you a special ride, because for you, because of the way your legs are, you have no quads and hamstrings. It's all riding with your butt. It's very difficult for you to get through the bike ride, and you needed to have a bike made that where aerodynamics wasn't important, but the lightness of the bike.
Right, yeah. So Cannondale hooked me up with an awesome new bike. It's green and black. It's a pretty cool color.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to get back on the course. But you know, for me, like you said, the bike is hardest because I have to use my glutes and my hip flexors. But really, just getting into the aero position, only really on the downhills will help me with my upper body. You know, keeping it, you know, relaxed and don't get too tired. So.
What's always interesting to me is where we've come to the point where you're achieving all of this. You've won a couple of Paralympic gold medals and silver medal in swimming, and people go, oh, okay, Rudy's going to come and do a iron distance event, and he's going to get through that. But it wasn't that long ago where double above knee amputee, people didn't have much in the way of expectation for you at all.
Right. So, you know, as growing up as a double amputee, you know, I always had people always telling me that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, because I had no legs. So, you know, for me to be out here in Germany to represent myself, to represent Challenge Athletes Foundation, and, you know, also the people who make my legs, really so I can be out here to show, you know, the world and show Germany, show the kids here in Germany that, you know, no matter what the challenge is, you can still do what you want. If you put your mind to it, and you know, hard work pays off. So, you know, I hope to, you know, if we can during this weekend, if we can help one young kid, my goal would be satisfied. So the kids, when you first started with Challenge Athlete Foundation, when you were 7, 8 years old, you were the only kid. Double above knee amputee, you're told you would never walk, you'd never run, you'd maybe use a walker, probably be in a wheelchair. Changing those perceptions, how tough was that for you? Because you didn't have a role model. You know, changing the perceptions of double amputees to where it is now, you know, it wouldn't have happened without the support of everyone around me.
Right.
You know, like yourself, Challenge Athletes Foundation, and, you know, just everyone who believed in me. And so, you know, now a double amputee is, they're expected to do a lot more than just sit around and do nothing. So now, you know, we're kind of setting the benchmark high. You got to get out there and do an Ironman, and, you know, no legs, no limits. That's what it comes down to. So, and it all comes down to what you're thinking of here, so.
In terms of the real disability is a bad attitude?
Real disability is a negative attitude. So
I love that. So, Rude, talk a little bit about when we first talked and said, hey, let's think about doing this Challenge Roth. How tough was it to go from short distance, fast twitch guy to back to something you haven't done since '09?
Right. So initially, you know, I was really skeptical about doing it, but you informed me that, you know, it is still 140 miles, and the course is a little bit hilly here and there, but for the most part, it's somewhat flat. So that's really what made me consider, you know, doing it. So, you know, basically I went up to Muddy's house for a month and trained with Muddy, and, you know, my first 30-mile ride, I don't remember what it took me, but it was miserable. I was horrible. It was just, I didn't think it was possible, but you know, I just kept continuing on day by day, and now, you know, I could ride a bike for 5 hours comfortably, and so, you know, it's just it was challenging switching over from the short stuff to the long stuff, but, you know, I love a good challenge. So
for people out there who are triathletes and they get in the aero position, they can sort of sit there for 5, 6 hours. Yeah. When we were putting your bike together and your seat looks like somebody took sandpaper to it. Basically, you're not very stationary in that seat. You're using your entire body to basically grab the bike and pull it along with you.
Right, right. So I'm not your traditional rider on the bike. You know, I'm using my upper body. I'm moving around on the seat a lot. I can't really stand up on the hills, so I have to put it in the low gear and spin it up the hills, which, you know, takes a lot of energy out of me. But, you know, for the most part, it's just about keeping that cadence going and spinning it up the hills, and, you know, hopefully getting off in a good time to have enough energy to finish that marathon.
So one of the things that you do all the time is you visit hospitals, you visit kids, because what we don't realize is the behind the scenes. We see people at the events.
Right.
Well, we don't see them right after their accident, or what the family's going through, the trauma of having being approached by a doctor saying we're going to need to amputate your child's leg. Being a guy who's on the front lines, how rewarding is that for you, and how tough is that?
You know, for me, being able to really motivate people is really a passion of mine, and you know, I'm very, very fortunate to be able to hook up with awesome foundations like the Challenge Athletes Foundation and companies like OSER and PowerBar who really support what I do and really want to help me get my message out to the people. You know, I get a lot of people. Sometimes they see me on Oprah or a TV station here and there, and you know, they're blown away because they had no idea that the opportunities that are available for amputees like myself nowadays. And so, you know, now in America, it's just it's a whole movement. You know, the Paralympic movement is really changing perceptions of what people think is possible, and you know, it's motivating a lot of people too. So it's pretty awesome. So
you've been on 3 Paralympic teams: 2004, 2008, 2012. I'm assuming Rio is what you're thinking about now. What will that look? Are you thinking of swimming? Are you thinking of track and field, triathlon?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, the next goal is Rio. But you know, moving forward with this triathlon stuff, you know, I've been really enjoying training, and so you know, we'll have to see what happens on Sunday. But I'm gonna continue my training, and you know, possibly try to get back out to Kona next year, because you know, Kona for me is unfinished business. So that's something that I'm thinking about every day.
So we'll go back through that. So you come to Kona, and you missed the bike cutoff time, and then right away you knew that you needed to get back on a horse and get back at it.
Yeah. I needed to get back on the Ironman course and finish it because I knew that I could. And so, you know, athletes, we have good days and bad days. You know, that's just the bottom line. So in Kona, I had a bad day, but I picked myself back up, and a month later, I found myself at the starting line of Ironman Arizona, and it was quite a long day. It took me 16 hours and 16 minutes, but I was the first double above knee amputee to finish one. But you know, I feel like I'm still just scratching the surface. You know, 16 hours is okay for a first-time Ironman, but it's not where I want to be. So, you know, I think with a whole solid year of training going next year into Kona, with you know, spending a lot of time on the bike for me is what's going to be most important. Building the muscle memory. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. But of course, going into Rio, I want to try to do something very challenging. You know, in London, I did swimming and track and field. And so for Rio, I want to try to do something special. I want to try to swim. I want to try to do track and field, and I want to do triathlons as well.
So you want to try to make the team in 3 different sports?
Yeah. We're gonna make things challenging. And so swimming is. I'm getting older in swimming. I'm not the 16-year-old kid anymore. So I'm 25. I'll be 28 in Rio. So you know, swimming is obviously going to get, you know, faster and more challenging. But I think I could still hang in there with those guys.
Yeah.
On the run, you know, obviously my best event is a 200-meter, which I run about a 26.9. I need to get in 25 mid, 25 low to have a medal chance.
Right.
And another event that I just got into was a long jump, which kind of interesting, long jumping as a double above the amputee.
Yeah.
Because basically we're kind of running on pogo sticks, and we hit the board, and
you
just
could launch,
flying off in the air. And so
you have to basically, when you do long jump, your legs are out in front of you,
right?
And you land on your all the pounding is in your butt.
It's all on my butt. So I land, and thankfully the sand is somewhat soft, so it kind of helps with that. But you know, it's still gonna jump 6 times. But my goal for Rio will probably be to just jump once. I just want to jump once, and all you need is one jump to make a champion.
Well, that's what Carl Lewis used to do.
That's it. So
you'd get that one jump, put it out there, and forget about it.
That's it. And then para-triathlon is actually going to be the first time in the Paralympics in Rio. So it's a sprint triathlon, which is right up my alley. I think I could pump out, you know, an hour triathlon, no problem.
Nice.
So that's what we're looking at.
And you've been in Germany before when you were swimming. but being back here for a legendary race like this, Challenge Roth.
Legendary.
You've watched the videos.
Oh yeah.
You've seen the crowds on the course.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, so you're looking forward to it.
It's one of those races that it's always been on my bucket list. I've always seen Challenge Roth as one of those must-do races, and I feel very, very, very humbled to have the opportunity to be able to travel all the way to Europe to compete. Obviously I'm American, so I'm going to be wearing the red, white, and blue and representing my country. But being over here in Germany, the people are just so welcoming. The city of Roth is amazing. Everyone is just so supportive, and it's going to be an awesome day on Sunday.
So there was points when you were the motivational kid, right? At the age of 7, 8, 9, Braveheart is a powerful weapon. You got your own little business card. You're going to schools and speaking. But also there's something about being a teenager where everybody rebels.
Of course.
Was there a point where you were tired of being the inspirational guy? Where you're like, hey, I want to wear long pants.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want people to know that I'm missing legs.
Oh yeah. When I went through high school, that was my phase. I wanted to be different. I didn't want to be the boy with no legs. I wore pants every day. I hated being on TV. When people say, hey, I seen you on TV, I'd usually kind of walk away and not say anything. So for me, everyone goes through that stage of going through teenage years of starting to look at yourself and all that type of stuff. So for me, it was a little bit more challenging, and just mentally, being the only kid in my area with no legs, and always being referred to as the guy with no legs. It kind of hit me a little hard. But I realized that throughout the whole process that I have a gift here, and I can really motivate people. I can inspire people. I can help them out in life. And so what's more important than that?
So do you still remember the time where you beat the first kid with legs? So
I do.
Jumped in the pool and
I did. It was maybe a 25 freestyle. So I was maybe like 8 years old, and I remember I told my parents I want to beat the kid with legs. I said I just want to beat one. I don't care. It can be any kid who just started swimming. It didn't matter. If I could beat a kid with legs, then I'd be on the right track. And I remember that race where I came in, I hit the wall, and the kid next to me, he looks up at his friend and says, "Man, the kid with no legs beat me." And right away, that's what I knew. That's what I wanted, and that's
you wanted more of that.
I wanted more, and here we are in Challenge Roth.
Well, and I remember at Ironman Arizona, you got off the bike and had your hot Cheetos and turkey sandwich, which is always something that's a little unique for you.
It is.
But you got off the bike and you passed 140 people in that marathon. And I know there were times where you're laying down trying to get a massage, your back's cramping up, where you were questioning what the heck you were doing out there. But how special was it to come across that finish line, to know that you really, similar to a Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile, or someone going under 8 hours for the first time like Lothar Leder did here years ago. You did something that you're going to be the first at something that no one else has ever done before.
It's quite humbling, but, I wouldn't have been able to cross that finish line in Arizona without all the competitors on that race course. I think every single person on that race course, on the bike or on the run, gave me a go, Rudy, or keep kicking ass. So, just the amount of support that the triathlon has. It's just we're a big family, I know, and being able to be the first guy to finish it, I think it's just opening doors for the next generation, because those are the guys who are going to be, going sub 12 hours in an Ironman, I believe. The Cody McCaslins, the Jake Franks, all those guys who are growing up now, they're the ones who are going to be breaking the record. So
I mean, you really didn't know what was available. You lost your legs at the age of 6, and you basically made the decision to have your legs amputated. And then, so you were really 8, 9, 10 years old before you're getting into it. Kids who are double amputees like Cody or Cameron,
they're already kicking ass.
So for a lot of our age group folks out there, we're always thinking, man, I like it when there's not that many people in my age division, because it gives me better opportunity. For you, it's a double-edged sword. It's nice to be the only one, but at the same time, your sport doesn't grow unless more people become aware and more parents get their kids in the sport who are missing legs.
That's what it's all about. It's about building the sport, building the movement, and getting more guys out there, because there are tons of challenge athletes around the world who I believe have the potential to be rock stars, be star Paralympic athletes. They just don't see the opportunities there. So that's why we're here. We're showing to everyone around Germany that no legs, no limits. So
who motivates you?
Just everyone around me, everyone who supports me, my family, my dog. I love my dog, and just everyone who treats me the same. I don't like to be treated any differently just because I have no legs. So I'm just one of the guys.
So Coach Muddy, when you didn't finish in Kona, We sent you up for basically a little muddy love, a little muddy boot camp.
I got muddy love. I showed up at Muddy's house with my bike, running legs, and about maybe 10 bags of hot Cheetos. And he made me leave those Cheetos in the car because that wasn't going to happen.
That wasn't going to fly
it wasn't gonna
in
fly.
Muddyville.
No, so, I've got a whole month of muddy love. And, of course, Arizona was challenging, but we really redefined my bike. We took out the aero bars, and now we put them back on now. So it's kind of, it's always a work in progress on the bike for me. I'm always going to be, changing things and figuring out new ways to get more power because, my power is limited. So with that being said, now we got this challenge Roth coming up, and we did everything possible to get myself ready for this. So we'll see what happens on a race day. Hopefully weather is nice. No wind, please.
So right behind us is the finish stadium. They're working on it right now.
Yep. And
hopefully sometime on Sunday you'll take that lap and become the first double above knee amputee to finish this race. What do you think that feeling is going to be like?
It's going to be a very emotional feeling, being able to cross that finish line and know that I got my second Ironman under my book. But I'm not going to downplay things. It's going to be tough out there. It's going to be tough. I need to make that bike cut off, and if I get off the bike, I should be good on the run. But it's going to be a very, very tough day. So if I can get through it, which I know I can, and with the support of everyone out there, I think we'll have a great day. So,
Rudy, you've become a hell of a young man.
Yes, sir.
It's been really fun watching you from the age of 6 or 7 to 25.
It's been a blast.
And I think the journey's going to get better and better.
Every day, baby.
All right, let's bring Rainer in here. Rainer, take us out, my man. All right, Breakfast from Roth. Our hashtag is Breakfast from Roth. Nitro is a sponsor. Flapjack is a sponsor. Our YouTube channel is Babbittville. Stay tuned for our next interview. Hold on, everyone.